please give a very warm Cisco Live welcome to none other than William Shatner. Why don't we take a seat? We're going to have some fun today. You want to sit?
Yeah, I sat there in rehearsal. I think I'll sit here.
I think that's where you should be. You can sit anywhere you want. Well, welcome.
Thank you so much. My, so many people.
There are a lot of people.
Such expectation.
Well, tell them the story of what happened while you were coming down here.
Well, I was in Lexington, Kentucky.
There's a couple of Lexington.
I was riding a powerful horse in competition and driving a powerful horse in competition, and I wanted to be in Lexington because it's horses. But I also wanted to be in Las Vegas because it's Cisco.
Yeah!
So I knew I had to get on an airplane early this morning to get here in time. And I worried about it, and you know when you have that intuition something's going to happen, and you think, I know it's going to happen. This is going to, like I'm going to win, or I'm going to lose in Las Vegas. I had an intuition that the plane wasn't going to go. And I worried about it all day, even into the competition last night. I was worried the plane wasn't going to go, and I had people in Los Angeles checking on that Delta flight from Cincinnati, because I had to drive from Lexington to Cincinnati. And 4:30 this morning, up we went. There's going to be something on the road. It's going to stop. There was no traffic. It was silk right up there. Got into the Cincinnati airport. Have you ever been to the Cincinnati airport?
Oh, yeah.
You know it's deserted? It's eerie. It's like they knew a bomb was going to go off. You look around, there's nobody there. There's all these buildings, and there's nothing there. It was my Delta flight was there, sitting loaded. You know, they were washing, scrubbing, had nothing to do with waxing. I thought, this plane's not taking off at 9:20 this morning. I just know it. I feel it. And I get on, and finally they announce it, I get on, and I sit down, and I think, well, I know it's, they're going to announce, you have to stay on board for the next 3 hours. You know how they do. And the last minute, a pretty girl sits down beside me. Well, that's a good sign right there. And she says, you know, I've been worried about this flight all night. I don't think this flight is going to take off. She says. I said, it's the same thing. She says, you know, I'm partially American Indian. And I said, well, do you believe in the spirits and things that Native Americans seem to believe in? She said, yes, I do, of course. This plane may not make it to Las Vegas. I said, I agree with you. The plane took off and landed 10 minutes early, so none of that means anything.
Well, we're glad you were wrong.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, imagine saying, and without further ado, and I don't come on.
Well, we're very glad that you're here.
Thank you.
So, when I did research on you, when I found out, first of all, that you were going to be the person I was going to get the privilege of interviewing, I started doing some research on you, and I think we all know the obvious things. What became very apparent to me was how much other things about you that I didn't know. And the first thing I want to do is I really want to test this audience to see if they really know what I found out about you. So there's a multiple question, and this is going to be simple. It's going to be a show of hands. What did William Shatner study in college? Was it A, ophthalmology? Any A's? Okay, you got a couple.
One eyes for ophthalmology.
How about mathematics? Any mathematics? Shakespeare. Okay. And political science. Okay. So what is the correct answer, Bill?
None of those. I hope your research in Cisco is better than I graduated with a degree in business administration, a Bachelor of Commerce. Bachelor of Commerce, we call it here. A Bachelor, or it's the other way around, I forgot, it's been so many years. I have a degree in business from McGill University.
Fantastic. But you've been doing acting and you've been doing things since you
Well,
were
the
very young.
story is that I went to university in Montreal, where I was born, and so you know McGill, you know how prestigious McGill is, and I wasn't a very good high school student. I was interested in football and acting and girls. And then I got into the university, and I immediately started doing the drama department and the radio and the theatricals and the college musicals were a big part of my education. I never went to class. So in the 4 years that I was there and graduated, I graduated with the minimal amount of education you could get. And went on that summer of my graduation, I went on to a professional job in a professional theater, who hired me as the manager of the theater company because I had a degree in business. But I had never been to business class. I had cheated my way through college on another through. But I got my education in theater because I was doing. And so I was fired after a few weeks as a business manager and hired as an actor. And then the summer season ended, and there was a winter season going on in Ottawa with a professional Canadian company, one of 2 or 3 in Canada, called the Canadian Repertory Theatre. And the manager there called me and said, "Would you come and work as a manager?" So like in every business, including Cisco as I understand, you can fail upwards. I just happened to be sitting beside you. I didn't. Anyway, that's the story of what I studied and how I got started. What I studied has nothing to do with what I finally ultimately did.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. We'll have to do better research.
Now, there is an addendum to that whole thing.
Okay.
And that happened a couple of months ago. McGill gave me an honorary doctorate.
Good lesson
And I
learned.
told them basically, the graduating class, I told them basically what I've just told you. But in addition, I gave them some words of advice, which is don't be afraid to fail, and you know, the usual thing. And then I said, don't be afraid of making an ass of yourself. I do it all the time, but look what I got.
You know, the other one I wanted to pose to the audience here was, which has William Shatner done? And now this could be flawed too. I've got some sort of sense that might be in the future. But number 1, authored multiple science fiction books and music albums. You think so? Became a licensed pilot. Anybody for that one? Okay. How about help create a ballet? Just a couple of hands. How about bred horses? Okay. So what is the correct answer?
Well, lucky you. They're all true. Horses, flying, cars, life. All the things you mentioned are things that I've done, yes.
So talk a little bit about the horses. When we were backstage talking, you have, well, I would say, a little bit of passion about horses.
Well, I love horses. I love animals. We have dogs. I've bred over the many years. I've bred Dobermans and shown Dobermans, and even got to Westminster with a dog and almost won the class. The judge went, looking at me, you. But that's as close as I got to winning. But I was there at Westminster, and over the last many years, 25 years or so, I've been showing horses. I've been riding in competition. And the competition I ride in are three kinds. In California, mostly, I ride quarter horses that are taught a skill, a sport called reining. And reining is designed around what the cowboys used to do. Cowboys used to go chase a cow or a calf to doctor the calf. So they'd run after the calf would stop suddenly, so the cowboy on his horse would have to stop suddenly. And then the calf might dart to the right or the left, so the horse would have to change leads to the left or the right. Then the calf might run fast and then go slow, so the horse had to make a circle fast and then go slow. So that sliding stop, those change of leads, those fast and slow circles, and then spins, 4 spins each way at a designated time, like dancers on skates have to include certain moves. So this pattern includes all those moves, but the pattern is different. You understand what I'm talking about? So that's a very difficult thing. It takes years to learn, years to teach the horse, years for the rider to learn, because the horse has become so sensitized that it's thinking. If you turn your head this way, the horse is going to go to the right or the left. And if you alter your balance any, the horse is going to sense that and do what it's been taught to do. So you are in a state, to be at your best, you're in a state of union with the horse. You have to be at one in that zen, on the twos,